After this is automate, and this is the third module in creating your splash page, setting up your splash page. So by now we would have had your domain set up on your WordPress site, and we've got that sort of foundation right. And now we're going to dive in and just look at the different themes that are part of the Thrive theme. So there's lots of different plugins, as I say, is that one plugin that we get. So we're going to take a quick look at that. We're then going to install those plugins. At the same time, we're going to install this theme. And then I'm going to show you how to very quickly just create a new page, set that as your coming soon page and customize that to your brand. And then set that up as your new home page, so that if someone does come along and look at your site whilst you're building it, at least there's something there. And then we're going to have a quick look at the Thrive theme builder and a look at the wizard, and they're going to leave you on that thought so you can have a little look around before we get back down to business with the strategy of the whole thing. So without further ado, let's go over to Asana Workspace and just make sure that we're all in the right place. So you should now be in splash page parts 1, 2 and 3, configuring Thrive. There's some notes in here. There's also some notes in here to the a link to the articles, help articles, but I'm going to show you how to do this now. These subtasks here have just been noted because there are lots of different elements to this. As I say, we're going to talk through those now and ultimately install them. You're not going to want to install all of them, so all bar one, which is the one that's missing from here, but that will become clear in a second. So when you log back into your Thrive themes, you'll need to come over to the corner here and you'll see an option that says products. I've already clicked it, which is why it's not showing me there. So you click the all products, and that's just going to give you an overview of all these different themes that are included, all these different plugins, sorry, that are included within the theme. Now, this is going to save you a lot of time and money because ultimately most themes don't come with this. So normally in a WordPress environment, you would start to use different plugins for different things, and ultimately, as I say, those plugins can clash. But with Thrive themes, everything's all in one, and there's some really good stuff in here. And as I say, ultimately, as we go through the course, more of this will become clear. But for now, we're going to want to install these plugins and get our site back up and running. So if you go to your hosting environment that you set up yesterday, you'll see the standard WordPress blog has already been set up. By now, we should be able to go to our actual domain name and see that installation there as well, because that DNS, yeah, there you go. Those DNS settings have worked. So we can now go to this main site, or we can use from here, it doesn't matter. They're effectively both the same thing. The domains are pointing to the same environment, and it's that environment that we're going to customize. So we're going to want to log in here, and that's going to be using the same details, of course, that we did yesterday. And then once we're in here, you want to ignore this initial bit. You can just dismiss that, close that down. If you've had a chance to look at the WordPress tutorials, you'll kind of get an idea of what this dashboard is about. But typically, you won't need to worry too much about it. You can customize it up here just by saying, you know what, I don't want to see any of this stuff at that point. In fact, the only thing you might want to see is your site status. And that's it, because we don't need to worry about that dashboard. We're going to come down here into Thrive Product Manager, and then we're going to install these themes. Now, I've already connected that, so I'll disconnect it to show you what I mean. When you see it, you're going to get this option here. You just log into your account. That'll automatically pick up the license that you've got associated with your account, and you'll see this screen here. And that then correlates with what's in Asana over here. So you've got Thrive Builder, Architect, Quiz, etc., etc. So all we're going to do is click, I'll shut that one down, click the ones that we want. So we're going to want Thrive Leads, widgets. We're not going to want Headline Optimizer because we can do some maybe split testing with some other stuff, and that's kind of been superseded. Ultimatum, Ovation, Quiz Builder, Comments, Architect, Apprentice, Optimize, and Shapeshift. Now once we do all that, we just click Install License, and you'll see now that that's just going to go through a process, and one by one they're going to be ready to use. While they're doing that, I'll just give you a quick overview of what they are. Thrive Leads is your pop-ups and stuff like that. So if you want to collect leads on your website, which of course you do, Thrive Leads will allow you to do that and then insert those elements all over your site in different places. Widgets is effectively your sidebar, so you can customize different sidebars. Ultimatum is an evergreen countdown timer. You would have seen that on my own site if you've signed up through the Automate site. That's a really good plugin that you can use to create sort of scarcity for the closing of a product launch or something like that. Quiz Builder, again, you may have seen that on my site. That's really handy for sort of customer segmentation and that kind of stuff. Thrive Apprentice is what you'd use if you're building a course, and that's in fact the same plugin that you're looking at now if you're in the course, of course. And Thrive Architect is the sort of bones behind the site. So comments is self-explanatory. Optimize is just an A/B split test on your site, and the theme builder, as I say, is fundamentally the bones that run it all. So you can see just literally as quickly as that, that has now taken those plugins and installed them effectively on your website, and they're all now ready to use. So once we've done that, and as I say, that should have been just as quick for you as it was for me, it will take you to this theme builder page. Now we're going to come back to that in a minute. Just go back to our general settings, just so we can kind of take a breath and think, right, okay, let's go back and have a look at our plugins and make sure that they're all where they need to be. So here they are, right? So all of those plugins are now installed, and I think, yeah, by default now this is enabled auto update, which is what you want. So ultimately, as I said, plugins will always require updates, and sometimes if you don't update them, they can then start to cause you problems. But another good thing with WordPress, and no doubt Thrive Themes now, is they take care of that automatically. So that's great. We don't need to do anything there. All we need to do is come down, and if we want to get into any of those plugins at any point, we can come into our product manager or our dashboard and have a look and learn more about all of those things. Now, as I said, Thrive is really good in terms of support, so don't worry about breaking anything. If you're just kind of curious and you want to have a look, you can just click the button here. It will take you off to the product, and then you can start to get an idea of what these are. And as I said, you know, the support files on here are excellent. But we're not going to do that now. We're going to take a breather. All we want to do at this stage is we've installed your plugins. We want to put a coming soon page up and make sure that when someone goes to the main website, Unified Communications in this instance, rather than see that coming soon hello world, we want to see a nice splash page. So that's what we're going to do. So in order to do that, you come in here. You can come up to the top and just go new page. And we're going to want to call that coming soon. I'm going to skip this actually. You might want to look at it, but you can skip that bit. We're just going to go straight into launch the architect. In fact, I'll give that a name first. Coming soon. And then we're just going to launch Thrive Architect. Now you'll see that these options here are not configured yet, so the logo and the branding and stuff like that, and that's because initially it took us into the wizard, which is something we're going to do before the end of this tutorial, but we don't want to do it right now because that does take a bit of time, and you're not going to want to sit and watch me customize all of that. You're going to want to do that for yourself. So at the moment, all we're going to do is start with a pre-built landing page. And then we're going to have a look at what we want to use as our landing page. Now, these templates in here, as I say, are great. And ultimately, there's no doubt that when we come to actually build the landing page, we're going to come and select one of these, and then we're going to customize that. But I'll show you how to do that later. Right now, all we're interested in is coming soon, which doesn't look like there's an option for that, which is strange. Let me just put landing. Okay. Maybe have a look in legacy pages. I'm pretty sure there is a coming soon, actually. I don't know why that's... Oh, here we go, under construction, coming soon. So, you know, you can just pick one of these pages, whatever one you like. You know, I'm equally going to maybe spend a bit of time and make sure I pick the right one. But for the purpose of this demonstration, I will just pick one and install it. So I think, yeah, maybe at the moment that's probably the closest option we've got, and I'm going to just apply that template. And effectively what that's doing is we've created a blank page, we've told it that we want to use this template, all of the content from that template has been transferred onto this page, and effectively most of the work has already been done. All we're going to need to do is change a couple of bits, and that coming soon page is going to be ready. So as you can see, that's just loading up now. And when it does, I'll show you what we need to do with it. taking its time this morning. I think that might be my internet speed. Apologies for that. So you can see that's ultimately the page. Now we can come in here and start customizing all this, and it really is as simple as clicking in these elements. But I can appreciate at this point that you don't have any knowledge of this back-end system, and that's not what we're doing right now. We just want to get the page up. So we're going to save that work, and then we're going to come back and just set that coming soon page as our home page. And then later on, once we've gone through the wizard, you'll be able to come back there and just tweak that page and make it your own. So if we go back into the back end of the site, you'll see now that that's already on the home page effectively, but we're going to come back in to the back end. You can just click that button, actually, no need to have done that. And then I'm just going to go down to settings, and in reading, I'm going to set the home page as the page that we've just created. Actually, where is that page that we've just created? Let me just check that that's published. That's why. So quick edit on that and just publish that page. And then come back down into settings, into reading, and then we'll see that page is in there now. Static page, home page, coming soon, and apply. And then effectively that coming soon is now your home page. As I said, you're going to want to come back in and ultimately customize that page, but you're going to, in order to do that properly, you're going to want to spend a little bit of time understanding how that Thrive theme builder works. And as I say, I'm not going to bore you with me doing mine now. It's actually pretty straightforward, and actually the tutorials on the Thrive membership site are far more in depth and thorough. So it's quite easy for you to just nip over there and find out what you need. It is equally just very intuitive, and you can do that yourself. So finally, all we're going to do is have a look at this Thrive dashboard, and come back into this general settings, and then have a look at the wizard. Sorry, that's the wrong page. Have a look at the Thrive wizard, which is setting up the fundamentals of your site. Now, as I say, you're not going to want to sit here and watch me go through this, because each section is going to require 10 or 15 minutes or something. You're going to have to upload your logo and all that kind of stuff. But it really is very self-explanatory. So you just go down to that option, come into the Thrive Theme Builder, start this wizard. If you want, and you've just watched this video for the first time, you might even still be on this page, and you could effectively go through it before you set up your coming soon page. But I wanted to do that first, as I say, because this does take a bit of time, and you're not going to want to sit and watch me do it. But you can just go through this. So then when it comes to customizing it, and obviously I will do this now, and next time when we have a look at, when we come back to the website and we have a look, you'd seen that this has already been done. Obviously that's a task for you to do at some point now or in the future, but of course you're going to want to do that before we really move on. So work through this in a logical order. It is pretty straightforward. As I said, it is going to take a little bit of time, but it is really very easy to do. And if you do get stuck on that, you can ask some questions, put some comments in the boxes in the course that you're on now, or as I say, just thread off to the Thrive membership dashboard and get the resources there you need. So with that in mind, I shall leave you with that, and enjoy setting that up. This is a nice part of the process, because you start to see the creativity come through, and as I say, you'll start to realise just how easy it is. Don't worry about site speed, stuff like that. We're going to come on to that later on, but I'm sure once now you're in here, you're going to enjoy doing that. I'll see you in the next module as we start to talk more about strategy.